Welcome to the Pirate Broadcast, where we interview interesting people doing interesting things, where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. And it's a great day for a message here at the Pirate Broadcast. And we are here hanging out with a fellow pirate, a seasoned veteran. It's somebody that's helping post-COVID companies make a difference, startup warriors, and go from good to great, and making an impact, making it matter. Matt, what can you add to that?
Yeah. Man, I can add a lot. How much time do we have today? We got an hour, right? So, I'm not short of talking. What's up, Russ? I'm glad to be back on.
Well, I just want to welcome you. I just want to welcome you to the Pirate Broadcast and make sure that we're sharing the love and making sure people know that you're out here to help people. So,
yeah, no doubt.
Thanks for being here.
I appreciate that. Now we don't have matching beards anymore. I think I said that the last time. You definitely got me beat now, but I enjoyed shaving mine off. It was for a big reason, so I'm very grateful for that. So, yeah, when you talked about empowering post-COVID companies, I've made a shift in direction of some of the things I've been doing because there's so much of a difference now in business, in corporate business, small companies, small businesses rather, entrepreneurs, coaches. I mean, you name it. You cannot do things the way you were doing stuff a year ago because it will not work. To an extent it will, but nowhere near scaling. And there are some strategies and implementations that need to be made to make yourself first of all, in position to be seen, and two, to be able to engage with clients, because people are very eager to engage. And of course, they want to see who you are and what you're all about. So a lot of times people do their shopping online before they even talk to you. Or if they find out who you are, they want to find out who you are by really checking out what you say. So it's so vitally important to understand what your social content, your content marketing looks like, how you're doing some optimization, how you're going to be able to retain clients that you've had and find new ones. So there is a massive amount of competition now. I mean, there's bazillions of websites out there and all kinds of people that say they can do this and that. And when you're on a website, I mean, if your website's decent, doesn't look like, Microsoft Word from 1987 or something, then you're a competition with anybody. It doesn't matter if you're Walmart or if you're Bill's shoe shop down the street. You're on a level playing ground. It's just a matter of what you say and how you're saying it and how you're going to engage with clients. So I think moving forward in 2022, especially with the introduction of AI, which is not going away. It will get bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger. And those folks that are saying, I don't care about that, I don't know, well, you better, because whether you like it or not, that's where it's going. You got to be prepared. So that's some of the things I've made my shifts in to accomplish, helping folks like you and me, helping folks that are just entrepreneurs, or like I said, people that are in businesses or corporations that are trying to scale their business and or find ways to engage with their clients.
It's interesting that you bring some of this up because how long we've been here, just on LinkedIn alone, helping other people around the community and making sure that they have the resources and the information they need to actually move forward in their business. Much like yourself, I've been creating courses and teaching lessons and things like that, and there's still people that don't know what I do. I have all the time I get asked, so what exactly do you do?
What do you
Russ?
do, right?
What do you do? It's like, well, I actually help you be seen, be heard, and be talked about using video. And I love video. I love building systems. I love delivering solutions. So that's probably something along what you're doing. But the messaging, and because there's so much noise out there, you really have to be consistent in what you're delivering in terms of how you help people, where you can help people, who are the people that you need to help. And so a lot of that needs to go into our message. And like you said, the website needs to look polished. It needs to look like it's not from 85. It's current and updated, and you're in business and doing business.
Well, I mean,
so
how are you radio long?
How are you going to help people?
one of the things I learned in radio is that consistency sells, which is still true today. But it's a consistent message that sells. So I've heard that statement again to me for a while. What exactly do you do? And I thought, well, man, I have been knocking it out of the park for years, and I'm highly engaged and they love it, but they still ask the same question, which came down to the fact that I wasn't explaining it good enough. I didn't give the right comments for people to understand what it is that I'm doing. And a lot of times, folks like you and me, we're so passionate about what we do, and we know what we do. But if somebody, what do they do? They got a podcast. The thing that I hated to hear from marketing people all these years is you have to have one thing, dial it down to one thing. And I'm a passionate man, and I want to do so many things, right? I've got so much that I can do. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I've got a lot of experience, skills, talents, and abilities. So I want to do all kinds of stuff. And then what all kinds of stuff has gotten me is all kinds of no money. It's gotten me real popular with people. But, when it comes down to getting a job, it's a big difference. So you've got to make some shifts. And that's some things I've been doing for myself as well. And something that I know is so important for people to do that are like you and I, and or corporations or businesses that think people will just get what they do. But that's not necessarily true.
And the other thing that really has a challenge is if I just show up and people like me, they'll want to hire me. And that's not. You need to nail your niche. You need to nail your message. You need to nail what you do. Who do you help and how do you help them? And so I'm going through that same process. I'm not changing anything that I do. I'm just improving the message about how I do it. And I think that's important key. I had somebody speak up the other day and say, Russ, you've been killing it on live streaming. You're like the OG on live streaming on LinkedIn, and you don't even have a course on live streaming. Well, that's not entirely true. I've consulted with several people on getting their live stream up and running, and I don't have a course specifically for that. And that's going to change because I think it's absolutely important. Like you said, in post-COVID, new communication methods, the way people communicate. Video is incredibly powerful, and it's not going away. So that's the same thing I'm going through, Matt.
Well, guys like you and I, this is so natural for us to do this. But the reality is there are a lot of people out there that it's not natural for. And there are a lot of people out there that still don't understand how to do it. And in my mind, I'm thinking, how do you not know? You do it just
pick up your phone and start.
Go and but it's not that simple, obviously. Yeah, right. Just talk. But if you got a great layout and you do things fancy like that, and you're going to attract people that need a service, that want to do it, and they're just looking for the right person. So yeah, it comes down to even myself having to be more intentional about something like that with the course. I've done it, but I've not put it all together and said, hey, here's a pretty package for you that you want to click on and go to, and I'll show you how to do that. Because you almost feel like, well, it's kind of dumb to do something like that. Everybody knows how to do that. No, they don't. So you just can't take anything for granted. So if it's inside your wheelhouse, it's inside your niche, then
you just got to do it. You just got to do it. So Matt, explain and share to us some of the things you're going to be working on. What are you going to focus on in terms of the actual assistance and support?
Yeah, so for me, it's really important to understand what somebody's message is. First of all, it's that problem-solving statement, that whiff and what's in it for me, and to make sure that that's being clearly communicated to people. Sometimes folks may think it's being clearly communicated, but it may not be. You want to kind of be dialed down to about a 5th grade education. Don't mean that to sound like insulting, but it's absolutely true. 5th to 8th grade is the place where your marketing has to be in something like presenting things to folks so they get it. And then from there, you prove it, right? So there's ways to do that. So for me, with somebody wanting to scale their business, because I'm a business consultant, again, wanting to dial down to that one thing. I'd love to go do an event and seminar clinics and do stuff for team management and leadership and all those things I'd love to do. But you're never going to get to those places if the company sucks. I mean, so you got to help folks be able to engage. So for me, it really comes down to the content marketing. What's that look like? How are you doing it? What's your branding, your message, conversion optimization? What kind of things do you have in place to optimize what's happening out there? You just don't post stuff all the time and like things. That doesn't do anything. I mean, you've got to actually do some optimization of conversion. You want people to convert from fans to a client, right? And then scaling, which is to be able to take those things and be able to turn them into prospects, turn them into clients, and scale from there. And then we get to do other stuff inside of your business because you're growing, right? But if you're not focusing on some of the social aspect and the digital marketing side of your business, you're going to be left behind.
And you've been in this business long enough to know that there's a certain group of individuals that, you know, the early adopters, and then the laggards, what they call the laggards, the people that say, well, my customers are not on social media. My customers, you know, it's like when email came out. Well, my customers are not on email. I don't need a website because my customers are not on email. And now it's you know, it's to the point where social media is another tool that we need to use. We need to utilize it, because the first thing people do is, oh, I want to know about this company. They go to social media and they go look for the company. It's like if you have no presence out there and there's no evidence that you exist, it shortens the conversation, and people say, well, I'll go to somebody that's more familiar.
Oh yeah, I mean, when it comes down to websites, I mean, they're great, obviously, for information, but it's kind of like looking through the window. It's window shopping. You get a chance to check in things, right? But the social media is where people live, where they're hanging out. And when the businesses do that, they're actually going to generate more information and more Google reactions for what they're doing through their social media than they will on their website. The website's going to get certain type of traffic, but the SEO and the conversion rates of social media completely different. So a lot of times if you Google XYZ company, it's going to pop up there: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever. You're going to find information there first before you go to the website, unless they pay lots of money to SEO stuff and Google so their web page shows up first. But chances are when you do that, the first thing that's going to pop up on their homepage is how to connect to them on their social channels. And that's for a reason. Anybody that's successful in business, Nike, for example, or I don't know, Ford, you know, you go to those places on a website, you're going to look for a specific car, but if you want to learn about how it works and what they're doing, they're going to send you to their social media stuff, right? Yeah. So, to have those things working effectively and communicating effectively to the clients you want and to those that you've been working with, you want to continue. I mean, anything in business, you want to be able to retain your clients, right? You don't want somebody to buy a car from you and then say, I'm never going to buy a car from Ford again. I'm going to go to Chevy from now on.
Well, it brings up a perfect point, Matt, about engagement. You have to engage with the community. You have to engage and create a community. You have to be available to connect with them, right, at some level. So,
well, that takes a lot of time, and a lot of folks that are CEOs that may be listening today, they're like, yeah, whatever. I mean, how much money can I make by doing that? Because that sounds like an awful lot of time. Well, you're absolutely right. So, I mean, Mr. CEO, Miss CEO, you don't have to be the one that's on there, but you can hire somebody to do your content and maintain that, and then be able to scale through the roof. But if you just ignore it and think it's no big deal, you're going to miss on a large share of your business.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to some of the people in the community. I want to engage with the community, Matt.
Engage, buddy.
So Jenny Gold is saying, hey, good morning, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Rena. And Silver Fox Talks, DJ.
What's up,
Hello.
DJ?
What's going on? I had to pop in. I had to pop by. Yep. Hey, DJ. So the community here is engaging with the community. Yeah. Hello, gentlemen. Elise from South Africa. Good morning, Russ, Matt, and all the pirates. Thank you so much for being here. Angie's in the room. Good morning, Matt and Russ. Russ and Matt. Gotta support it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we met recently on Clubhouse on my show last week on Let's Get Naked, Silver Fox, and Jenny came by and they got all naked on that show too. It was pretty awesome.
Awesome. Emily Herman here. Guess we can't over communicate. Absolutely not.
Great
point.
That
is so true.
Unless you talk about the same thing in circles, that would be crazy.
A useful example. and, and Angelica.
Angeliki.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Kathy Spooner's in the room. Good morning,
Kathy.
Pirates. Emily Herman says, we let our inner critic stop us.
That's the point, Emily. That's the point. When we start thinking that we're saying too much, we're not doing the right things, or it's not good enough, I mean, that's the end of the road. Then you're right.
Yeah. And Carl Sean Watkins, great discussion, guys. Thank you so much.
That. I like that look, Carl. I like that bow tie and those.
Yeah, that's sharp. Emily says, Carl Sean Watkins. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And then Jenny says, when I started my marketing agency 7 years ago, I thought IG was a joke. Wow, I was wrong.
Shoot.
Yes. Yeah. And then Marcia says, hoping to learn so much at e-commerce conference. Right in this vein. Thank you.
Marcia. As a matter of fact, I've got 2 incredible e-commerce contacts that if you'd like to find out after the show, I'll send to you, that are one of the tops in the industry, multi-million dollars per month. They're Amazon e-commerce gurus, and they both have some courses, and they are fantastic. So if you want some of that information, I could share it with you. They're the bomb diggity, I promise you.
Well, I'm just getting involved in Amazon. I'm on the Amazon Live program now. So last week I did a shout out to a bunch of authors that are on LinkedIn, and so I'll be doing another one. So I'm going to be doing shout outs to all the LinkedIn peeps that are authors. So
that's awesome. That's a great deal, bro. I love it.
Yeah. So I'll highlight that and put links into your books and everything else.
I love it.
So Emily Hartman, hello, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that. People putting themselves out there have an inner critic, but they don't let it stop them.
That's so good, Emily. You're right.
That is so true. That is
a lot of times that we can wrestle with doubt and fear, lack, imposter syndrome. That's some of the stuff I talk about on my show on Wednesday nights. Yeah. And it is that courage to overcome. So courage really comes from another place. Courage comes from a confidence that is built by character that gives you the courage to do it. So when you have those places intact in your life, you're able to make some choices, and sometimes they're going to be the wrong ones. But it's okay. I mean, we can make wrong ones. I'd rather make 100 wrong decisions and one right one. That lands me everything, than to have not done anything at all, right? I mean, we can go down to the whole list of people that have done all kinds of things that failed and succeeded.
Oh, yeah.
But, you got to be able to do it, and you need to do it wisely. I think it's important to understand how to do things wisely, educated, to understand that when you make a mistake, people don't think that you did it because you're an ignorant imbecile.
Yeah.
You didn't. You made an educated decision to do something, because that can only come through connection with other people. I mean, I don't think anybody should go alone. I always tell people Lone Ranger even had Tonto, for those old folks out there.
Yeah.
And there's no way for you to be successful in this industry doing it by yourself. None. And there's no shame in the game by trying to find somebody that's better than you or can really inspire you to do great things, because it makes everybody better.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% positive. True. Marcia says, thanks so much. Yes, I'd value sharing your contacts.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Marcia, she's on Facebook. If she's on LinkedIn,
I'll connect you two.
Okay.
Marcia's an awesome individual. Marcia's an awesome individual that she just got back on Amazon. She actually has Stay Well Copper that naturally kills. You can see this, the Pirate Syndicate.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I got it on the back of my phone. I carry it on the back of my phone, and it kills germs. And
that's really cool.
And she has it all approved for the FDA, the FCC, the FTA, and all those 3-letter acronym organizations that let you get on Amazon. So she's back on Amazon. She's doing e-commerce. She's going to rock it, and an amazing individual that
great
I
product.
love, and you will love too. Howard Kaufman, great discussion. Howard's another business owner that he's doing some amazing things with ORL. It's a product I love and use every day. So
Is it for something with mouth? Is it
yeah,
like
mouth care.
Okay, that's great.
It's chemical free, Matt, and you can
Great brand
appreciate
name,
that
Howard.
being in chemical free, and it's really high end. It's really amazing. pH balanced at 7.0 pH, so you get the benefit of the pH.
See, Howard's brand just proved my point, because I do branding and marketing, right? So there's three things in any type of business or marketing that you have to do to be successful. You have to be simple, memorable, and reproducible. And those three things. I had no idea what his product was when you put it up on the screen, but my first thought was it had to do something with mouth, because it said oral, right? And he nailed it. Nailed it to the wall perfectly. And that's a perfect example of what I'm trying to explain. You've got to do something that people can get from the jump, and then they want to know more about, right? And you just told me some cool stuff about things like that I would love to try myself. So that's cool. I'd love to see what Howard thinks about engagement with people, and how, as a company that's oral. I mean, obviously think about Scope, Listerine, right? These companies that come right to your mind, and you can go to the store and buy some mouthwash, you're thinking Scope or Listerine, probably not thinking oral, right? So I wonder how he's working to get that message to the people about his product in a highly competitive market that he's in.
Well, the advantage that Howard has put out to the market is the fact that he doesn't have to have poison control phone numbers on his products because of all the chemicals that are in there.
Yeah,
and
that's a big deal.
You don't realize how many chemicals are in your toothpaste and your mouthwash that are not necessarily good to consume.
I mean, that's why they say, if swallowed, call the Poison Control Center or you will die.
Yeah.
Go outside and get some Roundup and push this in your mouth.
If you want to kill some bugs, right? It may work, but it's not healthy at all. So
that's a great point.
What else are you killing? Yeah. So Carl says, my vulnerability has allowed me to understand it is a superpower. I have found it and shares it always.
Yeah.
Share it always. Absolutely. And Daniel Hall is in the room. Daniel, great discussion, Russ and Matt. My gosh, what an inspiring story, brother. Thank you so much for being here. I really love that you're here.
You must have seen some stuff about my cancer battle and whatnot, I would think.
Yeah. Well, you've had some personal challenges in your life, and just a few.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And
I'll still be on this planet Earth right now, but I am, and I'm grateful.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and thank you all the gratitude in the world for
thanks, bro.
Being here and hanging out and sharing the wisdom and skill that you have and the gifts that you share. I really appreciate it.
You get to hear from a dead man, right? I'm a dead man walking, so you might want to hear a couple of things I got to say.
Well,
about failure being a success, it teaches us. You're right. It's a mindset issue to be able to overcome failure. When you fail so much, it really affects you. It bothers you. It really creates problems. It causes traumatic experiences. It's one of the reasons I teach on trauma as well. When you deal with so much failure, eventually you believe it. And then you believe failure, right? So I'm a failure. But failure is the opportunities, but you have to be able to shift in your mind how to get over those experiences and those feelings of failure. And typically those feelings of failure come from things way in the past. That's what's stored inside our brain up here. And that little tiny, little nut-looking piece right here on the top of our head, right here in front of our head. There's places that communicate with our body and with our makeup genetically, that creates this place of fear that's embedded. And we have to go back to those places and stop what started. And then we do that. We have a chance to overcome some things in our lives and understand that failure will happen. And when it does, how to react differently, right? React is a bad term. I think that reaction is something that's a difficult scenario too. I think action is a better word. We can react to things, and a lot of times those reactions will be incorrect. But when we act upon those things, we act because we are prepared for something to act on, right? Reaction is just like, oh my God, what do I do? Action is, okay, I knew this was going to happen. This is what I'm going to have to do. Oh, there's my son just messed up my hair. You should see that. He's a fool.
Well, it's beautiful to have kids around to remind you how we can always be humbled, right?
Oh yeah, he just did. I don't care. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's out having a good time today. We're at a golf camp. My son's hanging out, getting to play some golf. He loves it, and he's getting better at it. So I'm watching out there right now, having a good time.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Daniel Hall says, I don't have Tonto, but I have my amazing wife, Tina. Right on, Daniel. Raman says, I get courage from my struggles. I have been working as a digital marketer in the past 11 years, own 3 companies, but I always think I'm behind on things. That's probably the best place to be. I'm feeling a little behind, and there's technology where we are right now is accelerating so quickly. And you mentioned AI, and the fact that we're growing, expanding, and all of these things are evolving. We just have to stay in touch with what and be aware of what's around us. We don't have to necessarily do everything, right?
Well, when you do that, Russ, you end up focusing on the wrong things. I mean, if you're not an AI company, then it doesn't matter every minute detail of AI for you. But if you have an overarching understanding of what it's supposed to be like, and keep up with it a little bit, obviously, if not you, then you hire somebody around you to do it for you, so that you know that you're in the right place to make some moves for your business. Otherwise, like I said before, you will get left behind. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, my friends. If you do not prepare, you will be left behind. So folks like, what was his name was just on there? Ruan, I think it was.
Yeah.
For all these years he's been working, it's 11 years, could be quite. Yeah, Rahman, I'm sorry.
Rahman Sharma. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been frustrated, I'm sure, with some of those things. But, it's good just to be aware, obviously, and just keep doing what you do. Focus on your one thing and do that one thing well. I used to own a big music store. And in my town, there was a few music stores. And there was one that was in town, was the old music store, been around forever. I'm the new kid on the block. And people would say, well, what do you think about that music store down the street? I mean, are they're competition for you? I said, what do I think about music store? And I said, the music store down the street is they're just doing what I'm doing. They're just trying to do it in their way.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, I do the same thing, but I'm going to do it my way. And I want to do the way that I'm most concerned about and I'm most passionate about. And I don't care what they do down the street, because that's their business, their life, and good for them. But I'm going to do it my way. And when you focus that way, you're not so concerned about, well, what are they going to do down there? What if they do this? What if? I mean, do what
you're
you
not
do.
reacting to somebody else's.
No, that's not going to be successful ever.
Yeah. Emily says, would love links to the products you're mentioning, especially if Howard's product will keep me out of the dentist chair. I'll be happy to share them, Emily. I'll be happy to share them, Emily. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, I want that too. That oral stuff sounds good.
I'll drop it in the show notes. That's why I rep Howard and Marsh's products. Yeah, Jenny Gold's involved. In fact, Jenny got started on live streaming as a result of meeting Howard and through some of the work that we've done already. Emily says, Ramen Sharma, seems like you're rocking it. Keep going.
Yeah, 11 years of the company is great. Senor Payas.
Failing behind, being successfully left behind. Failing at being left behind successfully. And I've says,
well, let's change it.
I'll have to listen later. Yeah, absolutely. It's never too late to change, right, Matt?
No. I mean, you're breathing. You have a chance. This is your opportunity. I mean, yesterday's gone. There is no tomorrow. It's not. You can't get there unless you're in Australia. And so at that point, you might as well just go for it. Our friends in Australia, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's always amazing. It's always amazing. And the best thing that we can do is have conversation like this, stay in contact, stay connected, have conversations that are going to make a difference, make it matter. And if you want to connect with Matt, how's the best way for them?
Russ.
What's that?
Yeah. That way people know they're not alone. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not the only ones out there feeling like this. I mean, just because you see us on a regular basis here talking and yapping and saying all kinds of great things doesn't mean we don't have struggles. We
Yeah.
do. It's hard to do some work, and to know that you're not alone doesn't always make everything better, but at least it could give you the confidence of thinking, okay, I'm not crazy. I know I can do this. And you can. You just have to think and make some different shifts once in a while. How can people get a hold of me? It's easy to find me. My website is my name, mattcrump.tv. That's pretty easy. Not com, but .tv. And then you could find me at LinkedIn really simply. Just find me just type in Matt Crump and I will pop up pretty quick.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for being here, coming back as a pirate, sharing some knowledge. And reality is that we have so many gifts and so many lessons that we've learned and so many interests, and we will focus on it. We will continue to focus on it and help as many people as possible, because I believe that we all have a gift, we all have a message, and we have to go out and share it as much as possible, because there's people out there that need to hear from you. So,
well, Russ, you've got I know you recently sent out some really great stuff. You've got like a course or something you just put out recently for people to get on, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm a huge fan of dub and video, and there's some systems in dub that allow people to easily. It's simple. If you're using Calendly, if you're using video for Loom, or you're using a scheduling program, or using all these different components, you can just combine it in one single program, make it simple, super simple, make it easy. And I'm teaching a course on that. It's 5 weeks. I'm going to limit the class to 10 people and put it out there. And I'd love to have people learn more about it and join me.
What's the core basis of the course you're doing?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What's the core theme, the core basis of your course that you're putting out there?
It's teaching people how to use dub to amplify their message, be seen, be heard, and be talked about.
Awesome. So training based on that
It's
program. Training
based on that product. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really good. And I remember before they rolled out, I was an early adopter with dub too, and they really do have a great program. They've done a lot of morphing since they launched in the first place, and it's really been really cool to see their growth.
Well, they've added features, like if you're using Calendly now, they've embedded that feature directly into dub. So
yeah, that's really good.
So I mean, if you're a podcaster, a broadcaster, or have courseware or create anything, there's a lot of opportunity there that you can actually go out and you can actually create a system and a solution for your business, and it can be unique for your business. And that's what we're really teaching, is how to craft something and a strategy that you can use on a regular basis to remove the friction for people to connect to you, contact you, get a hold of you, and actually book time with you.
Russ, you know how you get a unique business, don't you?
Start it.
Well, you unique up on it. Sorry, dad jokes. Hashtag
dad jokes are here.
I'm out there with my fun of it,
Well, Matt, I thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate you and all you do in the community. So gratitude, and wish you all the abundance in the world. So
thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
And as always, everyone, if you like this and you want to, share it with someone, please like, comment, and share. I know there's a lot of people out there that could use this message. Be connected and follow the Pirate Broadcast. Always bringing something interesting by interesting people every day, because kindness is cool, smiles are free, and we want you to enjoy your day. Thanks you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate